We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Houston Texans. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Down, 30 base. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. On the ball.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. A loss of 2 there, second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Ready?
Out of the gun, Gabbert. And he finds Howard complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's Gabbert now. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Taken in at the 22. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On first down, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Check Mike. Mike,
now it's Watson.
It's just me and you.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. That's caught inside the 20. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Move. Right there, 54, right there, 54.
From the red zone now, Watson. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he slides to avoid the hit. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
You got nothing.
Here's a guy on his fourth franchise in 2 years, Carlos Hyde. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Haywood.
Here's Gabbert. Open man is Howard, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That's what I'm talking about.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he hits his man, Matthews. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
Go.
Gabbert now to throw on first down. On the screen, this is Eckler. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To the air again, Gabbert. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
On the double. Mike 37. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
From the shotgun, it's Gabbert. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
Ready.
On 3rd down, Gabbert. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Ready to break. 41 to Mike. Check 41. Record.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And I think the offense got it back. Yes, they did. At the 2-yard line is where they'll have it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, the Jets sweep. This is Godwin. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Matt Gay on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw is Watson. He's got Fuller. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
A gain of 18 on the play. And the Texans first down.
54 Mike. Let's go.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 2nd and 10, Watson is going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup and even 40 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
I know you feel that.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
At the 7-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Carlos Hyde, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And some room to work. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you?
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson going deep here for Still. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League.
Yo, Cheetah, Cheetah.
Now Eckler. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 41, Gabbert over the middle, complete. That's Wells. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Down. 10 Lobo. Look at me. Go. Hey, exit. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Be driven.
Off the play fake. Gabbert. He'll buy some time right. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it. and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting in a field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there just before halftime. 56 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Johnson's got it complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Watson now to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
It's 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Again, it's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Will tie in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
Now it's Miller. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A 1st down carry now for Miller. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the 50, it's Watson. Hits his target, the tight end, Will tie. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
What's that? 19. Check. Walk 54. Walk 54. You don't want 59. Shit. Kill.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Miller. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Faking the give. Now Watson. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. It's Eckler again. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Gabbert now from the 50. Being chased out left. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hudson. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Well, now they'll try the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. 2nd down now.
He's brought down back at the 40-yard line.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh. Check 41. Smooth. Ready?
Play fake. Gabbert. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
41's the mic. Here we go, dude. Here I come. Let's go.
Out of the gun, Gabbert. Over the middle, complete. It's Hudson. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. To throw, Gabbert. Throw left side, complete. It's Hudson. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7 on 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll get this down only to the 18.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Gabbert now. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Matt Gay for the Buccaneers field goal.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
17. Matt Gay on for the field goal. A 36-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now a first down throw, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a first down.
First down.
Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Motion. Hey, 31. Go. Right there. 54. Right there.
Watson looks to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. And it's second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Back to the air. Watson on second down. Going to throw right side here. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Come on out here. Come get some. 29. Come get some.
To the air yet again, Watson. And Thomas has it. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. Watson and the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Watson with a give to Miller. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 13, it's a first down. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Carlos Hyde. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it. For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
Come on, set.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. On 2nd and 9, Gabbert. He'll get this to Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the fourth quarter now. Late stages, and the Titans now out in front. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now Gabbert. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the two-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll run it with Johnson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.